Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've covered this week's Marvel books. Now it's on to this week's DC and Image books, starting with Batman Secret Files, Clownhunter #1. So, as it's been a while since we've seen Clownhunter, you might be wondering, who the hell is Clownhunter? So, Clownhunter was introduced in the recent Joker War crossover. He's the survivor of a Joker attack from a few years back. His parents were killed. They ran a restaurant after a heist. Joker and Harley went there, and well, Joker killed Clownhunter's parents. Eventually, constantly seeing, the chaos that the Joker caused, Clownhunter decided to take matters into his own hands. He had been given the night of his parents' death, he had been given a batarang by Batman, and during Joker War, he basically stuck the batarang through a baseball bat. He called it his Bat. Recently, he has been Wesley Tompkins has been helping him, and Batman has been trying to get him to take a less lethal approach to taking care of the clown problem in Gotham. The story flashes back and forth, goes back and forth between 2 years ago when Bao, Clownhunter, was at Gotham Academy, and the present. Gotham Academy, the basic version, the breakdown of all this is that he was bullied because his aunt and uncle basically put him in an apartment of his own and enrolled him in Gotham Academy, and a lot of the rich kids used to pick on him. Sometimes, some of it simple bullying, other times actual beating on him. In the present, he's tracking down one of the clowns, a guy named Saul, in the Narrows, catches up to Saul, and works Saul over pretty good. But, well, yeah. Saul triggers an explosive. Turns out it was a trap. Punchline wants to talk to him. It basically explains, this was bait. Saul was bait, and she was actually kind of surprised it took so long for him to take the bait. But also, the solution was to call the rest of the clowns out to take care of Bao. And a lot of the story is really, a lot of both parts of the story are really about the fact that Bao keeps on, every time he gets knocked down, he just continues to get back up, even when the odds are very much against him. And even though he's been trying to, go down that less deadly path. He does kind of veer back to old habits and ends up taking down 27 of the clowns. The idea being but they've got him held prisoner. They hang him by his wrist from a lamppost. The idea being that, punchline basically, kill him, don't serve as an example to anyone else who stands against us. But he's saved by Jason Todd, who offers to train him. By and large, Bao is the kind of just like, I don't know. I tend to work, but I work alone I prefer to work alone. But he at least says he'll think about it. So, but Jason does offer him, kind of, hey, I'll train you, and we'll actually bring down Joker together for good. So, we'll see where how that pans out. Moving on to our next book, we've got Catwoman number 34. Where we left off in Catwoman, things were not looking good for Selina. Alleytown was under siege, and she was being targeted by the assassin known as Father Valley, who had been raised in the Order of St. Dumas by, in fact, Azrael's father. Selina had ended up in Gotham Bay, Gotham Harbor, and though she was thinking that, well, she was hoping Batman would save her, she didn't think he would. However, he did. So the issue begins with them talking, watching what's going on in Alleytown. Selina asks how it is that Bruce found her. Detective Headley turned on the bat signal, actually got Bats to show up, passed along the info he had on Father Valley. And so, but Batman passes it along to her. And they go back to their separate ways. But we get, basically Selina's analysis of what Father Valley is doing, and the fact that he does kind of have them all. He's kind of got all the cards. But she tracks him down, and they have a sword fight. He's got a katana waiting for her while he uses a more traditional broadsword, eventually breaking the blade of the katana. At the same time, at what's left of St. Thomas's Church, which in the Catwoman annual, Father Valley blew up, there's a height survey found in the rubble. Because Headley's trying to figure out, why would Valley blow up the church? Makes no sense. And Selina tries to run from Valley, but he does catch up to her, and turns out that the building he's in is just across the way, or at least has a clear line of fire to where Selina's sister Maggie lives, where she's sitting on the terrace in her wheelchair, just watching things, and then he's got a remote. He's got triggered on remote. He's remotely activated, so. But Valley and Catwoman manage to stab one another as Headley arrives to talk to Maggie. However, and while yes, Selina did stab Father Valley, and fairly grievously, he does activate the gun and it fires. However, her sister's moved, and instead, Detective Headley took the shot, got hit, center mass. Also, Valley the hideout Valley was using was primed to blow, and as Valley and presumably also Catwoman escape, it went up. And that is where the issue ends. Things are, yeah, things are definitely getting very interesting in the Bat books, especially the ones taking place directly in Gotham City. So yeah, it's actually been a really fun. It's been a fun ride reading all of them of late. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Nightwing number 83. Where we left off, Nightwing went to talk with the new mayor, the daughter of Tony Zuko, only to discover that she's actually not Tony Zuko's daughter, but rather the daughter of John Grayson, Nightwing's father, making her his half-sister. But she went into her entire past, and how it is that yes, she is his older half-sister. And yeah, her mom briefly stayed with the circus, fell for John, the two of them were together, but Tony Zuko came and got her back. A few months later, the new mayor was born. However, Blockbuster as well as the Trump Bloodhaven PD have shown up at the mayor's door to arrest Nightwing, who was seen breaking into their apartment. Well, the cops are there to arrest him. Blockbuster's just there to, kill him. But, so Dick gets out, but Blockbuster gives chase. The two of them have a brief fight, and Nightwing does manage to escape, even with a police chopper firing on him with a heavy machine gun. But he gets home and promptly sleeps for 2 days. Then he goes and he still has to worry about what he's going to do with his that inheritance. Because he's not going to be Bruce. So he talks to Leslie Tompkins, he talks to the Titans, he talks to Lucius Fox, talks to Superman. And apparently he has an idea. And basically Superman 1 tells Nightwing that he looked up to Alfred, and also asked Nightwing to, be there to help Superman's son John if needed. But next morning he has a press conference and announces the offer of Pennyworth Foundation. Before the announcement, him and Babs have a quick kiss. But he goes through the entire plan, affordable housing, trying to fix problems, starting in Bloodhaven, but going also elsewhere as well. And we get various people watching Blockbuster, the mayor and her mother and her bodyguard, Batman. We also the group chat has of course blown up with Steph simply saying, "Wow," Tim saying, "Always raising the bar higher for the rest of us. Proud of you." Jason saying, "Nice work. Before you give it all away, don't forget you owe me $20. Damien, not that it's a competition, but you win. Cass just, sends out a whole bunch of emojis. And Bruce calls and simply says, tells Dick that he honored Alfred and thanks him for it. However, we have one last reaction. Heartless, our new villain. Turns out that Heartless's plans for Bloodhaven don't really line up with Dick Grayson's, and well, maybe they're just going to have to remove Dick Grayson from things before his plan actually comes to fruition. In fact, Heartless knows he's going to take Dick's heart. And that is where the issue ends. Yeah, remember what I said Tim Drake said in the group chat to Nightwing about raising the bar? Nightwing kind of does that for the rest of the Bat books like every month. It's like, so far, Tom Taylor's run on Nightwing has just been, I can't say consistently good, because it started off good and just keeps getting better. Most of the other books just kind of, they've kind of hit a, start strong, get a little stronger and just kind of plateau. But Nightwing so far has kind of just continued on. Catwoman, in all honesty, has kind of done the same thing, where it just keeps, I would say the quality, I am enjoying Catwoman, clearly, but, it's good, but Nightwing is just a teeny bit better. Hell, the core Bat book's great. Harley's series is great. So yeah, anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Legends of the Dark Knight number 4. So, this starts the beginning. It looks like at least for the next few months, Legends of the Dark Knight is going to simply be one-off stories. Presumably with each month we get a new creative team. Whereas the last three, the first three issues of the series were one arc, if I remember correctly, written and drawn by Derek Robertson. So the issue begins in Gotham City, 1910. Shortly before the death of Charles Cobblepot by a rather ghostly figure. In the present, at the very latest, at least before City of Bane as Alfred is present, at a charitable at a charity auction, various things come up, including a box, which, as before it's even fully described, the Penguin walks in and begins to bid on it. $50,000. And as Bruce has been reminded, this was his parents' charity. Well, he should probably buy something, so he puts a bid on the box. 100,000. Penguin doubles it, and Bruce then says 500,000, and so he buys the box. Opens it up, and it's like, okay, so what's in here? Apparently, it's information about the West End Wraith, a murderer in early 20th century Gotham. Kills Gotham businessmen and politicians. Some of the very men who helped build the city, murdered in their homes, but it looks like, potentially speaking, this would, the information would say exactly who the Wraith was. So Batman utilizes a holographic model of Gotham to figure it out. But the Penguin and his goons decided to attack Wayne Manor because, well, Penguin wanted that damn box. While Alfred handles most of the goons in the Batmobile and realizes why it is Master Bruce enjoys the Batmobile so much, Penguin works on making his way in. But studying the crime scene and he's able to figure out that it was a maid, or it was one of the servants who attacked. He looks up of course, also among those targets is Henry Wayne, or Justice, in Gotham. So, Batman looks up the connection between Charles Cobblepot and Henry Wayne. Apparently, Wayne dismissed an assault charge against Cobblepot, brought about by his maid, Angelina Tatum. But Batman manages to get Penguin out. Though Penguin does say, Wayne's going to want to keep it secret because, his family's implicated, not too well implicated in everything as well. But it turns out that Bruce decided that no. He's going to reveal the identity of the Gotham. The identity of the Gotham Wraith will be revealed. And the next day, the Gotham Women's Center will receive a sizable donation from the Wayne Foundation, which will allow them to open 3 new shelters and provide free legal services to anyone in need, all in Angelina's name. But he leaves some flowers for Angelina, as she was, one of Gotham's forgotten victims. But he as you say, the flowers on her grave. Bruce tells Alfred that they all have to do better. Bruce Wayne will donate money, but Batman will be watching. And that is where the issue ends. Nice story. I honestly don't mind the idea of Legends jumping around between time periods of Batman and various points of Batman's career with totally different everything, every issue. I just kind of wish they'd kind of done that from the get go, but hey, the Derek Robertson story was actually really good, and I'm just kind of bummed it couldn't go long. His involvement with the book could have lasted longer. Anyway, moving on to our last DC book for the week, Batman Catwoman number 6. That's right, they're still putting this out. It's just taking a while. So where we left off, in the future-ish timeline, Selina had killed the Joker. In the past, perhaps Selina and Joker, in the past, Selina and Joker were maybe involved, as well as Selina and Batman. And the present-ish, it was Catwoman had agreed to help Phantasm take down the Joker, or kill the Joker. So, in the past, it's around Christmas, Joker is hanging out with Catwoman, who's drinking. She's got a tree that was brought to her by Bruce. Joker suggests they decorate it. In the present, Phantasm is using Catwoman as bait to draw out Batman. And he explains, that he will not let them kill Joker. Batman's got Joker, keeping Joker off the streets and out so that Phantasm can't kill him. In the future, Helena Wayne, Bruce and Selina's daughter, asks if her mother killed the Joker. Selina dodges the question and asks if Helena is going out tonight. And Selina decides she'll join her daughter. Turns out that, yes, in the past, Selina's got ornaments, all of which she stole from various Christmas trees over the years. And Bruce keeps some clothes there just in case. When Hunters and Catwoman show up to answer the Commissioner Grayson's bat signal, Suffice it to say that Dick is surprised to see Selena. But Selena gives him a hug, and she tells him that Dick, being honestly the truly good man that he grew up to be, was something that Bruce saw as his greatest triumph. But the fight between Phantasm and Batman continues, and yeah, it's honestly the whole thing. Everyone rightfully points out. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. You got a code, but come on, every time you stick him in Arkham, he gets out. He kills more people. At some point, you kind of become responsible. Batman is kind of responsible for a lot of those deaths. I mean, a lot. In the future, Catwoman and Huntress deal with various future Gotham foes. Dragoon, a goon, who's also a dragon. Four-Face. Twins, murderers. Kind of cute, Polymath. Yeah. But Selena gets Huntress to ask her again if she killed Joker, and yeah, she did. But Selena and Joker, put ornaments on her tree, and Joker leaves, and there's a knock at the door. She expects to be Joker, but coming back for whatever. But no. It's Bruce. Telling her that without her, he's lost. And that is where the issue ends. I probably should have just reread the first 5 issues before going back into this, because it took them. There were some things that I had to wait. Okay, gotta. Kind of the downside to a book getting delayed for a few additional months, especially when that book's already coming out in a bi-monthly schedule. Anyway, moving on to our final book of the week, Nocterra number 6. Where we left off, Val, M, and Piper were seemed to be safe, but their hosts, it turns out, were the ones who employed Blacktop Bill, and Val discovered this the hard way. And so, the 3 were taken prisoner, used as bait, but they've got some of M's gadgets, and so the 3 of them are able to get loose, and cause a little chaos by losing some of the human shades. But the shades are slaughter some of the survivors there. Getting on their way to the rig, Tiberius tries to stop them, and is killed by the shade of his brother Gus. But the trio make way for Val's truck, which is out of juice, but it's on a decline, so gravity is going to help them out. And they're running from shades, but there's a light ahead of them. B. Bellwether. And so some of her crew make sure that Val and M will be just fine. But Val says that the story it's not just a story about all the things they can't see, but not just the dark. It's the story about all the things they can't see, not just the dark things, but the bright things too. And so, the first arc of Nocterra has ended. And to be completely honest, I'm honestly glad I opted to pick this book up. It's been a hell of a ride so far. I'm looking forward to seeing where things go. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's roundup. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.